Okay, so Thomas Edison was quite famous during the early part of the 20th century because of his inventions. And one of the significant inventions of Thomas Edison was the phonograph. So this was the prototype of the phonograph made by Thomas Edison. So you will see here a revolving cylinder. So there's a revolving cylinder here. The cylinder is cranked. There is a handle that you can crank the device. So the cylinder rotates. And let's see, when you speak through this, so you have here some sort of a horn. You can speak through the horn. The horn is attached to a needle. So your voice would vibrate the needle or would shake the needle. Then the vibrations would go through the needle and would make a line or groove onto this tin foil. So the tin foil is attached to the revolving cylinder. So let's say when you talk through this portion of the phonograph, the voice will vibrate the needle or will shake the needle. The vibrations of the needle will make the needle form grooves into the tin foil or aluminum foil. Then during playback, you can just crank again the cylinder and probably place a horn so that the vibrations could be amplified. A needle on the other side could play back what you have just recorded. So that's how the phonograph of Thomas Edison worked. So it's quite simple, but it made an impact to our society. So here you have an illustration wherein Thomas Edison would speak through this tube which is attached to the needle. The needle will move, causing to make lines or grooves along the aluminum foil. Alright, then during playback, you can just crank the machine again so that the voice can be heard, and you can place a horn so that the voice can be amplified. So that's how the phonograph of Thomas Edison works. So you can attach a horn here so that during playback, the sound or the vibrations can be heard. Alright, so that's the phonograph of Thomas Edison. So what was the impact of the phonograph to our society? Well, like what we mentioned before, the phonograph altered how people heard music. It was the beginnings of on-demand listening. That means you can now play the music you want whenever you want it. Music fans could listen to a song over and over. Diba? Unlike before, if you want to listen to music, you can just go to a concert. Diba? Pupunta ka pa sa concert, sa may theater and listen to what an orchestra playing. Diba? Dun sa theater house. But now, because of the phonograph, the performance of, let's say, the orchestra can now be recorded, and you can listen to your favorite song whenever you want it and wherever place you want to hear the music. And the best thing about it, that you can listen to a particular song, recorded song, over and over again. Diba? Magsawa kayong makinig kung anong gusto nyong music, diba? You don't need to go to a theater house and listen to the performance of your favorite band or favorite orchestra. Diba? So that's the impact of the phonograph, and with this domino effect na yan came the development of the vinyl record. So I'm sure you're familiar with the vinyl record. Right? Then from there, nagkaroon na rin tayo ng tape recorder. Then yung tape recorder na miniaturize yan into a Walkman. A cassette player muna. So yung tape recorder na malalaki yung yung mga tape niya. Then from there, na miniaturization. Then came the cassette player, yung maliit, di ba? Then yung cassette player na yan, na miniaturized pa yan to form the Walkman player during the 80s. The Walkman became popular during the 80s. Then, during the 90s, nagkaroon na tayo ng mga MP3 player. Diba? Then we have the CD player. Alright? Yung naging yung music ngayon, naging high fidelity. So, mas maganda yung recorded music ngayon because of the MP3 player, yung mga CD players. Then, you can listen to music using your cell phone. Right? So, that was the impact of the phonograph made by Thomas Edison. Okay, and also Thomas Edison was quite famous because of the invention of the light bulb. Though, there were others who came up with the same idea. Alright, it was not really Thomas Edison who came up with the original idea of the light bulb. But the best thing about the light bulb of Thomas Edison was that the light bulb of Thomas Edison had a longer lifespan, unlike the previous light bulbs made by other inventors. So, maiksi lang yung lifespan ng mga light bulbs noon eh. But Thomas Edison was able to improve on the light bulb by adding a new material inside the bulb. So, he studied several materials and he found out that tungsten is the best. So, meron siyang tungsten filament inside the bulb. And what's amazing still about the light bulb of Edison was that the inside of the light bulb is evacuated with air, meaning walang hangin sa loob. It's a vacuum because we all know in science that burning is caused by oxygen. You need oxygen to burn. Kaya maiksi yung mga lifespan ng mga bulbs because oxygen was present inside the bulb that decreases the lifespan. Nasusunog yung mga filaments eh. So Thomas Edison came up with the idea na tanggalin natin yung hangin sa loob para walang combustion. So the filament, the tungsten filament will simply glow as you introduce electricity without burning the tungsten filament. So that increased the lifespan of the incandescent bulb or the light bulb. And Edison patented it. So, and the fact that Thomas Edison was able to market the light bulb. Si Thomas Edison kasi madiskarte. Magaling siya sa marketing. So, he planned to illuminate yung Menlo Park, yung kanyang bahay, yung lugar niya, yung Menlo Park. So, inilawan niya using the light bulb that he invented. Alright, and using direct current. So, yun kaya siya sa marketing, kaya he was famous. And di ba meron din siyang competitor by the name of Nikola Tesla. Kaya lang ang yung kanyang attitude, he was an entrepreneur and magaling siya mag-market ng mga inventions niya. And he can engage with people. Unlike si Tesla na medyo eccentric, no? Alright, so that was Thomas Edison. So he came up with the phonograph, the light bulb, and the kinetoscope. What is this kinetoscope? The kinetoscope, which is the forerunner of the motion picture film projector, yung cinema. Alright, motion picture film projector. So si Thomas Edison na nag-imbento niyan, together with another guy by the name of William Dickson. So you have a strip of film na nasa loob, as you can see here sa ating photo. So may strip of film doon was passed rapidly between a lens and an electric light bulb sa loob. So yung manonood nakasilip lang dun sa peephole. So pag silip niya, pag pinandar yung film, may gumagalaw may moving pictures sa loob. So this was the forerunner of the motion picture film projector. And this led to the development of the movie industry, cinema, Alright, so it was Thomas Edison who came up with this. Yung early motion picture projector. Alright, so isn't that fascinating, di ba? Okay guys, so with that, let us now proceed with our next inventor, right, which is Nikola Tesla. Ayan, so let's study some of the contributions made by Nikola Tesla. Now, Nikola Tesla was a Serbian-American inventor and engineer who discovered and patented the rotating magnetic field, which was the basis for the AC generator. Right? And we will be mentioning this in a little while, yung development of AC power or alternating current. He also developed a three-phase system of electric power transmission. So what do we mean by the three-phase system of electric power? So siguro hindi kayo familiar dito. So our electricity, ngayon itong present time, our electricity is generated by, let's say, a hydroelectric power plant na may generator. Right? That generator will produce a certain amount of voltage of electricity. Then, let's say the power plant is at Nueva Ecija, for example. Right? So the power generated by the power plant goes through a step-up transformer. So take note, a step-up transformer. So by the name itself, step-up, the transformer will increase the voltage to, let's say, 200 plus thousand volts of electricity. And this high voltage electricity will travel through high tension wires. Ayan, so papunta kunyari sa Metro Manila, di ba? Siguro you have seen yung mga high tension wires, let's say along NLEX or sa T-Plex, di ba? So yung mga high tension wires na yan carries high voltage electricity. Para makarating sa Metro Manila yung kuryente, kailangan very high ang voltage niya. Alright, so mga 100,000 volts. Yan. So malaki ang voltahe niya, kaya high tension wires ang kailangan. Then pagdating sa Metro Manila, for example, yan, nakarating na sa a certain city, there's another transformer called a step-down transformer that will lower the voltage of the electricity, let's say from 100,000 volts to only 220 volts of electricity. So yun yung dumadating sa bahay natin, yung 220 volts na yan. So that's what we meant by the three-phase system of electric power transmission. So generator, step-up transformer, high-tension wires, step-down transformer, then papunta na sa bahay. And it was Nikola Tesla who introduced that. Biruin nyo yun, di ba? So every time na magsasaksak kayo ng appliance sa electric plug, anong iisipin nyo? Sino ang iisipin nyo? Sige nga, anong pangalan ang papasok sa utak ninyo every time na magsasaksak kayo ng appliance? Sino? Si Nikola Tesla. Alright? Okay, so to continue, he immigrated to the United States in 1884 and sold the patent rights to his system of alternating current dynamos, yung mga actually siya nag-invento niya mga transformers, step up and step down transformers, and electric motor. Alright, so binenta niya yung patents na yan kay George Westinghouse. Ayan, so naging si George Westinghouse, siya yung nag-finance, siya yung tumulong kay Nikola Tesla. Okay, so in 1891, he invented the Tesla coil, which is an induction coil which is widely used in radio technology. The Tesla coil was instrumental. It was a major component of radio. Ayan, so in a way, we can consider Nikola Tesla as the grandfather of radio. Kasi yung Tesla coil na yan, it was a very important component of radio. Okay guys, so that's Nikola Tesla. So to continue, alright, training for an engineering career, he attended the Technical University at Graz, Austria, and the University of Prague. At Graz, he first saw the Gram dynamo, which operated as a generator. Ito yung generator na inimbento din ni Michael Faraday. If you will recall, Michael Faraday came up with the first electric dynamo or generator. A generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. Remember yung generator ni Michael Faraday? So you have a rotating copper disc na kinakrank mo between two permanent magnets. So mechanical energy cranking the rotating copper disc into electrical energy. Yun yung generator na ginawa ni Michael Faraday. So ang ginawa ni Tesla, he reversed the system. So he came up with a device that converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. Binaliktad niya yung generator. Same components, kaya lang binaliktad niya electrical power to mechanical power. So he came up with an electric motor. And he conceived a way to use AC current or alternating current to our advantage. Kaya 'di ba ngayon ano yung mga bahay natin? We are all powered by AC current, all because of Nikola Tesla, 'di ba? Right, later at Budapest, he visualized the principle of the rotating magnetic field. Ito yung induction motor. Alright, and develop plans for an induction motor that would become his first step towards the successful utilization of alternating current. Yan, no? So, pag kayo turn on ng electric fan, anong iisipin nyo? Yung kuryente, AC, saka yung motor ng electric fan, sino nag-invento nun? Sige nga. Sino? Diba si Nikola Tesla. So, in 1882, Tesla went to work in Paris for the Continental Edison Company. And while on assignment to Strasbourg in 1883, he constructed after work hours his first induction motor. Tesla sailed for America in 1884, arriving in New York with only 4 cents in his pocket. Wala siyang halos kapera-pera. And a few of his poems. Wow. Makatha pala tong si Tesla. No? May mga poems pala siya. And calculations for a flying machine. Okay. He first found employment with Thomas Edison. Ayan, di ba? So, nagtrabaho pala siya kay Thomas Edison. No? But the two inventors were apart in background and method. So magkaiba sila ng si Thomas Edison, madiskarte, people friendly, ma-PR, no? Basta si Thomas Edison, magaling sa negosyo, gano'n, di ba? Magaling magplano, ma-PR, magaling sa marketing. Pero tong si Tesla, medyo eccentric yung dating no? Medyo may pagka-weird ng dating, kaya hindi siya naging masyadong sikat. Pero magaling siya, magaling si Tesla. So, the two inventors were apart in background and methods. And their separation was inevitable. Naghiwalay din yung dalawa. Siguro they cannot get along with each other. Parang yung story ni Tycho Brahe. Remember? Yung story ni Tycho Brahe and si Johannes Kepler. 'Di ba? Si Brahe party guy. Si Johannes Kepler naman medyo may pagka-eccentric din yung dating, 'di ba? Si Kepler. Alright, and si Kepler magaling sa math, si Tycho Brahe hindi masyado, 'di ba? Kaya nag-aaway sila. So parang ganun din si Edison and si Tesla. Kaya eventually naghiwalay din sila ng landas. Alright, and naging magkaaway yung dalawa. So we call this in history as the current wars. So si Edison, promotor ng DC, direct current. Then si Nikola Tesla, promotor ng AC, current. Yun, kaya tinawag to na current wars. Then in May 1888, George Westinghouse, head of the Westinghouse Electric Company in Pittsburgh, bought the patent rights to Tesla's polyphase system of alternating current dynamos, transformers, and motors. Basically, most of his yung mga practical inventions niya binili ni George Westinghouse. Alright, the transaction precipitated a titanic power struggle between Edison's DC current system and Tesla Westinghouse alternating current approach, which eventually won out. So ibig lang sabihin nito, nagpasikatan tong dalawang to eh. I think the plan was to light. Meron silang paiilawan na na event. I forgot that event. So Edison will use direct current and si Tesla naman AC. Pero it was Tesla that won dun sa paligsahan na yan, yung parang showdown. Yan, nag-showdown yung dalawa eh. Pero si Tesla yung nanalo. And until now, we are using his system of power transmission using AC. So let us now enumerate some of Nikola Tesla's invention. So one of the best known inventions of Nikola Tesla was the alternating current or AC. So when Tesla came to the US, he worked for Thomas Edison in Manhattan, di ba? I mentioned that already. So Tesla worked for Thomas Edison and was promised $50,000 if he could make Edison's DC current method successful. Aba, no, so si Edison pala inalok si Tesla ng $50,000 para paganahin yung DC method ni Edison. Alright, kaya lang na nalaman ni Tesla na the Edison's DC current was not effective. Si Tesla mayroon siyang bagong meron siyang method yung AC niya eh. So nalaman ni Tesla that the DC current was not as effective as Tesla's own alternating current method in transmitting electricity over long distances. So hindi nag-work out yung yung deal. 'Di ba? Kasi si Tesla na-realize, hindi gagana yung DC ni Edison, ni Bossing. Wala yan. Mas maganda yung method ko na alternating current, ni Tesla. When Edison reneged on his offer to pay Tesla to solve his DC power design flaws, Tesla quit and move on to his next endeavor. So, inalok ulit ni Edison. Kaya lang medyo maano to si Tesla eh. Hindi, mas maganda yung aking AC. So hindi niya tinanggap, hindi niya tinanggap yung yung offer. Tinanggihan niya. Tinanggihan niya or hindi binayaran ni Edison si Tesla. Kaya doon nagsimula yung kanilang away. So Tesla quit and move on to other ventures. So nag-solo siya. Nag-solo flight si Tesla. Doon na nagsimula yung current wars. Buti nga tinulungan siya ni George Westinghouse. Alright, so that's the invention of the alternating current. Ayan, no? So, bikuin nyo guys. Kaya kayo, pagsasaksak kayo ng appliance, whether it's a microwave oven or an electric fan, or even your TV, no? Pag sinaksak nyo yan sa outlet, sino ang inyong iisipin? Sino ang inyong iisipin? Ayun, alam niyo na. Alam na this. Si Nikola Tesla. Alright. Another significant invention of Nikola Tesla was the Tesla coil. Perhaps the most familiar symbol of Tesla's work is the Tesla coil, embodied in the tower that was erected at what is now the last remaining laboratory located in Shoreham, New York, the Tesla Science Center at Wardenclyffe. Here, Tesla created a tower topped with its infamous coils, which shot electric sparks through the air and circulated the electricity around the coils by alternating current. So, itong Tesla coil na ito, ayan, ito, no? So, ang Tesla coil, basically, you have a primary coil sa loob, no? And a secondary coil ulit dito sa labas. So, itong Tesla coil, if you introduce electricity, it basically amplifies the electric power and sparks will be emitted dun sa Tesla coil. And itong Tesla coil na ito is an important component of radio, yung mga radio transmitters. And itong Tesla coil also, you can find this in the automobile, yung induction coil. The Tesla coil is also known as the induction coil sa kotse para maghatid ng mga sparks dun sa spark plug, no, para ma-ignite yung gasolina sa loob ng makina ninyo. So yung induction coil na yan, that's the Tesla coil. Kaya pagbukas yun ng hood ng kotse at makita nyo yung induction coil na yan na naghahatid ng electric spark sa mga spark plugs, alam nyo na kung sino nag-imbento. Sige, you can shout the name, Nikola Tesla. Alright? Okay. Another significant invention of Nikola Tesla was the magnifying transmitter. Alright? Building upon the revelations of the Tesla coil, Tesla sought to offer wireless power for free. Para sa masa, libreng electricity. No? At paano niya ginawa ito? By transmitting power, electric power from one tower to another using resonance, na using sparks. So, yung Tesla coil, ang ginawa niya dito, pinalaki lang niya. Alright? Pinalaki lang niya yung Tesla coil para yung mga sparks niya lilipad. It will be received by the people para libre kuryente. Wireless. No, wireless yung ano niya dating. Ayan. So by connecting a wire to the tower and running it around his lab, he powered his laboratory wirelessly. Ayan, no? He demonstrated the effect on stage to audiences. Aba, nagpasikat pa siya no, using light bulbs that were not connected to any power source. What? Diba, no? So, walang wire. Napailaw niya yung mga light bulbs na walang wire. Wireless, no? The magnifying transmitter succeeded in transmitting electrical current 1 kilometer away. What? Oh, diba? So, this was his magnifying transmitter. Ano lang to? Malaking induction coil. Mahiganting induction coil. Pag inon mo yan, naku, sparks will be emitted. Tapos pag nasagap mo yung mga sparks na yan, you can generate electricity wirelessly and for free. O, diba? Yan yung vision ni Nikola Tesla. Ang galing, no? Another significant invention of Nikola Tesla was the turbine, the Tesla turbine. So Tesla developed a piston engine to power automobiles using combustion to rotate disc. At the time, commonly used turbines were less efficient and relied on blades. But Tesla's invention merged many discs to create a centrifugal pump. By moving fluid in the path of least resistance, his turbine was more fuel efficient. His turbine is also known as the boundary layer turbine or yung centrifugal pump. Alright, na walang blades. Ito guys, ito yung kanyang Tesla turbine. Ano lang yan, mga disc na pinagdikit-dikit, no? Tas iikot yan using centrifugal force. Yun yung kanyang Tesla turbine. Alright, so that's the Tesla turbine. Alright, Nikola Tesla also came up with an upgrade of the X-ray machine called the shadowgraph. The shadowgraph is another name for X-rays. Please take note that the X-ray machine was invented by another guy. His name is Wilhelm Röntgen. Yun, in-underline ko dito sa PowerPoint ko, no? Wilhelm Röntgen. Kaya lang yung kanyang X-ray machine, hindi masyadong maganda yung images eh. But etong si Tesla, he made improvements on the X-ray machine. Alright, an X-ray creates a silhouette of the area captured by passing radioactive waves through the human body. Although the invention was developed by Wilhelm Röntgen, Tesla made improvements to the technique to render clearer images. And we are now using that technique developed by Nikola Tesla. In fact, nag-demonstrate siya. Ito, in-X-ray niya yung paa niya using the machine that he designed in 1896. Ito, in-X-ray niya yung paa niya. Ito yung sapatos, so kitang-kita pa. Ito yung mga pako dun sa ano. Ito yung ano niya, yung foot niya, yung buto. Bon, lakas ng X-ray niya. Saka maganda yung image. So, Nikola Tesla came up with an upgraded version of the X-ray machine that was initially invented by Wilhelm Röntgen. And Nikola Tesla also came up with the idea of hydroelectric power, which we are using today. Right? The Niagara Falls Commission selected Tesla to design the hydroelectric power generator at Niagara Falls using his alternating power technology. Considered the first power plant, Tesla's technology was used throughout the world to provide electricity to the masses. Ayan, so siya ang may idea nito, using water power to turn the generator. So, running water will turn the turbine. Yung turbine na ginawa niya, yung Tesla turbine, the turbine will turn the generator, converting mechanical power into electrical energy that is distributed to our homes. Diba? Using yung three-way power transmission niya, yung may step-up transformer, then yung mga high-tension wires, tapos may step-down transformer papunta sa mga bahay natin. Si Tesla ang may pakala niyan. This hydroelectric power system was invented by sino nag-invento niyan? Sino? Si Nikola Tesla, guys. No? Alright. Sige, so let's continue. Nikola Tesla also came up with a radio-controlled boat. Aba? Alright. So, Tesla used radio transmission to power the first radio-controlled toy boat. So, today, ito yung gumawa siya ng RC na laruan na boat. So, anong impact nito? So, yung mga drones natin ngayon, basically are based on this technology. So, ayan guys, ayan. This was his first radio-controlled boat. Yan, wireless yan na radio-controlled. So, we can consider Nikola Tesla as the grandfather of wireless technology. So pag inisip niyong wireless, sino yung iisipin ninyo? Every time na maglalaro kayo ng RC, yung mga remote-controlled cars, or remote-controlled airplanes, or remote-controlled boats, sino ang iisipin nyo? Sino ang iisipin nyo pag every time na kayo maglalaro ng RC, mga radio-controlled cars? Sino? Ayan, si Nikola Tesla. Alright guys. Okay, yeah, no? And Nikola Tesla also came up with the first induction motor. Ayan, yung motor. Yung electric motor. Diba? So, saan pa natin ginagamit yung electric motor na yan? Diba sa mga electric fan. Yung mga vacuum cleaners. Sa mga ladies natin dyan, yung mga hair dryers. So, every time na magpapatuyo kayo ng buhok, using your hair dryers, yung mga ladies natin dito, sinong iisipin nyo? Sino? Ayan, diba? Yung mga gentlemen natin dyan, yung mga mahihilig magpumpuni, gagamit kayo ng mga power tools, yung mga electric drill, yung mga electric saw na may motor. Sinong iisipin nyo? Sino? Banggitin nyo yung pangalan. Diba? Nikola Tesla. Diba guys? Pag mag-turn kayo ng electric fan, every time you turn on the electric fan, sinong iisipin yung pangalan? Sino? Nikola Tesla. Ang dami. Ay nako, sa paligid nyo sa bahay, basta may makita kayong electric motor, si Nikola Tesla. Every time mayroong wireless, Nikola Tesla. Kaya lang, di ba, many of Nikola Tesla's invention went unrecognized kasi hindi siya, kulang sa promo, kulang sa diskarte. Mas madiskarte kasi si Edison, no? Others lost when his notes were destroyed by fire. Nasanugan pala siya, no? At the end of his life, his research was confiscated by the FBI. Bakit kaya, no? Yung mga inventions niya kasi was way ahead of his time. Diba? Magugulat na lang, remote control na boat, diba? Parang magic. Diba? So, yung mga inventions niya were far ahead of his time. Kaya siguro natakot yung mga tao, baka lang nila wizard tong si Tesla, may mahika na no? So, yan. And only in recent years that it has been made available to the public. Kaya nakilala natin siya. Mas magaling pa nga si Tesla kay Edison eh. Marami siyang mga ginawa na hindi lang kulang sa pansin, ika nga, si Nikola Tesla. Okay, and speaking of wireless, let's talk about now the development of the radio. So in 1895, an Italian inventor by the name of Guglielmo Marconi built the equipment and transmitted electrical signals to the air from one of his house to the other, and then from the house to the garden. These experiments were in effect the dawn of practical wireless telegraphy or radio. But again, let me clarify that the equipment of Marconi would not be made possible pag wala yung Tesla coil. The Tesla coil was crucial so that Marconi can come up with that equipment that can transmit electrical signals to the air. Yan, ito yung wireless telegraph. Remember, the telegraph was invented by Samuel Morse. Right? Yung ganun. Kaya lang may wire. Ito naman, si Marconi, meron siyang telegraph, kaya lang wireless. Ayan, radyo yan. Ito yung Tesla coil, yan, kinabit ni Marconi yung Tesla coil para mag-increase yung signal niya. And guys, did you know that Marconi's wireless telegraph was used to rescue the 700 survivors from the Titanic disaster in April of 1912? Ayan, so the Titanic was equipped with Marconi's new wireless telegraph. No, yung palubog na yung Titanic, yung mga Marconi operators, they send signals, yan. nasagap ng Carpathia. Ito yung siya yung pinakamalapit Carpathia. Pero pagdating ng Carpathia dun sa site, wala na, lubog na yung Titanic. And yung mga nandun na lang sa lifeboats yung natira. Yung 700 na yun. No, it was too late. No, pero ito yung first na rescue using wireless telegraphy. So the dramatic rescue of over 700 survivors from the Titanic disaster in April of 1912 was made possible thanks to the new wireless telegraphy. So there. And also, we need to consider also the invention of the vacuum tube, yung tubo. Yung vacuum tube by Lee De Forest. Ito yung detubo or vacuum tube. No, baka hindi kayo makarelate dito, no? Naabutan ko to yung vacuum tube, yung detubo. Yung TV namin yun, yan ang laman yun, mga vacuum tubes. So, anong ginagawa ng vacuum tube anyway? A vacuum tube increases the signal. It amplifies signals. And this was crucial. Itong mga vacuum tubes na to that increases the signal, this was an important component of radio. And in 1906, Reginald Fessenden came up with the first voice transmission. AM. He used the AM or amplitude modulation to transmit his voice through the air. So it was Reginald Fessenden who's the father of AM radio. Then Edwin Howard Armstrong also came up with a similar device, but he used FM or frequency modulation to carry the signal, the voice signal through the air. So Edwin Howard Armstrong can be considered as the father of FM radio transmission. So there, that's the development of the radio, both AM and FM. Kasi yung AM maraming di ba? Ang AM maraming static, yung gumagana, di ba? I'm sure you are familiar with that. Ang FM kasi, FM is of a higher frequency. So nawawala yung static sound, tahimik siya. That's why FM radio broadcast is suitable for music. Di ba? Ang AM more on drama, mga balita, ganon. Alright guys. So there. That's the development of radio.